A group of enemy soldiers pretended to surrender but quietly took out grenades. But the soldiers behind them raised their guns and warned them not to move. Both sides were stuck, and no one dared to act first. However, the officer had already seen through the enemy's trick. 10 minutes earlier, the enemy had raised a white flag to show their surrender. They even threw all their weapons on the ground, but they all kept their helmets on and did not drop their combat readiness. So the officer realized that they were pretending to surrender. He ordered his soldiers to load their guns early and stay alert. When they thought the enemy captain would give up resistance, the enemy captain suddenly pulled the pin of the bomb. At that moment, the soldier beside the officer pushed him away and tackled the enemy captain to the ground. The officer survived by luck. The enemy commander heard the explosion and thought his plan had worked, but the officer broke into his office with his men. The enemy commander was shocked by the sight. Then the enemy commander decided to duel with the officer because he did not want to become a shameful prisoner. He lifted his samurai sword and charged toward the officer. The officer stood still without moving. The enemy commander stabbed the blade into his own body. He died in front of the officer in the way of a soldier. Soon, the officer received another mission from his superiors. He needed to lead his troops to attack the enemy's airport. But when they were about to act, a flare lit up the sky. Their location was exposed to the enemy. The enemy immediately fired at them wildly. The firepower was too strong, and the officer's soldiers suffered heavy casualties. The officer realized they had walked into a trap. He picked up a grenade and ran to destroy the planes. He charged toward the aircraft without caring about his own safety. Before the enemy reacted, he placed the grenade on the plane, and then ran away quickly to avoid the bullets. A loud explosion filled the sky. They successfully turned the enemy's aircraft into scrap metal. Even though they completed the mission, the officer knew there was a spy in the unit. Otherwise, the enemy would not have been prepared in advance. But before he could find the spy, he received a new order from his superiors. He needed to bring all the unit's documents and report to headquarters. This time, they had to cross an area controlled by the enemy. The officer decided to bring only a small group of soldiers. They put on enemy uniforms and tried to pass the checkpoint. They fooled the guards with their disguise. But on their way into the city, they noticed a woman staring at them. The adjutant yelled at her without hesitation, but she suddenly revealed their true identities. The officer felt danger instantly.